Hey there, Sir Albert. It's Game Changer here. So let's have a little scan at what you're all about, my friend. We're going to be giving you some personal tuition to make you very, very strong indeed. So first thing first, mate. 77% attacking HQ rate is above average. So you need to be really pleased with that. 29%, being honest, is slightly below average. And what I find is that if you're constantly getting destroyed, I mean that's what 7 out of 10 victories, isn't it? If you think about it. If you keep getting destroyed, though, what it does is it affects your psychological kind of play, because you kind of think, no, I'm weak, and then what happens is you increase your base defense, and increase your base defense, but lo and behold, you're not increasing your attack, and you start to get bases that are technically higher level, not necessarily set up correctly, but obviously people then start to struggle. So if I can make your defence better, you'll be able to go into battles thinking, I've got this, I'll be able to tech them, you know what I mean, and they won't be able to tech me, or you'll feel more like that's going to happen. So that's going to be my aim, bro, and I'm going to be giving you some real good tuition, hopefully, going forward. Okay, next part of your review is looking at your setup. So great work on the hind, getting that to level 9 is absolutely superb. So next step said 10. Your fobs, by the way, there's a bit of an urban myth on this upgrade to certainly the helicopter one particularly, where people say, oh, you know what, you go from Cobra at level 10 to Guardian level 1, and you haven't even got Guardians unlocked, so it's bound to be a downgrade. But it's not, my mate. I tell you what, when you get that level 4 helicopter and that level 4 tank and ultimately level 4 infantry as well, you get a lot more badass fobs, so get them as that high as you can. I suspect it's only level 4 for yourself, but I tell you what, when you change helicopter from 3 to 4, the amount of damage that those helicopters take with flak is ridiculous. And then when you unlock the Guardian, upgrade it, and when you unlock the infantry fob, you'll find that you get strikers. Build them up, get them to as high a level as you possibly can. So whatever's in your fob, make sure you work on upgrading that in your time as well. So that'll make a huge difference. I'm trying to recall when the next tank comes available for yourself. You've obviously got Abraham at level 10. Have a look at the Macarthur. Don't bother with the Breacher. Don't bother with a Toss. M270, fucking make it happen, and Macarthur, make it happen, mate, because they are absolutely so badass. It's unreal, mate. It really, that's possibly why you're struggling at the moment. And just observation here: if you get 800 extra metal and 150 extra Thor, then obviously you're going to upgrade your Alpha platoon, and that'll be 1200. That's an extra tank for me. I mean, I'm using Macarthur, they're 200 per slot, or it's an extra 2 tanks if you're going to keep the Abraham. But trust me, you don't need Abrahams now. You really need to be up in the next tank in there as well. Have a look. I know it's a lot, but have a look at this Avenger as well. If you can unlock that in the Rise event, I think it typically is at the moment. Make that happen, because obviously the Avenger is a big upgrade over the Reaper. Now, although I don't use it much in attack, I think the Thunderbolt's a better attack. The Avenger is a lot stronger in defence, so when that starts to overtake the Reaper, then obviously drop that out of your airfield and obviously put them in instead. Now, just observation here. So in your defenders, you've got Helicopter 1, Helicopter 2, both Hinds, really tough. But then 28 seconds to get the Cobra out, which, to be fair, is a lot weaker. Drop the Cobras and go for the Hind, because by then they've probably been softened up by other things, and really the Hind could be there to obviously finish him off, or really cause him a bit of a bad day if they haven't got anti-air. And obviously that will come out after 16 seconds, a whole 12 seconds before those 2 Cobras, which, to be fair, Cobras obviously you're just going to swat away anyway. So I mean, even at my level, if I've lost my couple of Zeus that I have for anti-aircraft, and the the hinds come out, I'm knackered. You know what I mean? It's give up, game over. You know, certainly well worth thinking about. Now again, in the War Factory here, if you got the metal and worked on it, you can increase that by another 100 sort of points, so you can get extra defenders in there. But I want you to ask yourself an honest question. If you attacked a base, Albert, and saw two little Humvees coming at you, sorry, they're kids' corners. So yeah, if you saw two Humvees coming towards you, and you're out there on the battlefield, are you really going to be bothered? Are you going to be thinking, "Oh bloody hell, Humvees are coming! Oh, better retreat"? No, you're not. They're not going to cause you any bother. You're going to take them out for seconds. So really, if Abraham is your ultimate tank vehicle at this moment in time, you want to have tank, two tanks, or tank, whatever you can get in there. The tanks, though, they're just harder to kill. They'll be on the battlefield longer. They'll be causing the player problems longer. So really, you need to be having to think about that in your defence. Now this M270. I kid you not, mate. Get that bloody unlocked, because that M270 will change your whole gameplay. It will outrange things like railguns. It doesn't quite outrange the machine guns, but I tell you what, mate, get that on the battlefield, and it devastates things. I mean, my typical attack will be two tanks, as many M270s as I can fit in, and then I've got Zeus as well to obviously take out machine guns and things along that sort of line as well. I find that's my personal attack. If you haven't got Zeus, I don't know how you'll get past how I play, but obviously I'm sure there'll be something. But again, there's your Zeus available at monthly events and things like that. So Striker, don't bother with it, mate. Apart from upgrading, don't build any, just upgrade it as much as you can, because that next fob will be using strikers, and the higher you've upgraded them, the more sort of your fob's going to be strong, if that makes sense. Yeah. So you just need to look at all your basics and start upgrading everything that you can. I mean, look at that, mate. You've got the sets of 10s, absolutely fantastic, and you've probably got to the point since this latest base change where it's just like, you know what, all of a sudden I can't win, I can't battle, I'm struggling, and it's because you need that next set of vehicles up. You're strong enough to do that now. You just obviously have to invest time into unlocking them, and I dare say some of the favourites of things that you use suddenly don't work, so it's like, oh, what do I do now? And that's obviously part of it. Snipers, I mean, yeah, I've used a lot of snipers in my time, certainly not so much now. But again, look at these defenders, mate. Okay, so after 15 seconds, you can imagine the guy's going to be quaking his boots when a couple of 9 machine gunners come at him. It's really not going to be a problem. I'll tell you what might be a bit more of a problem. If you had 5 mortarmen in that first slot and they come after 8 seconds, and then another 5 mortarmen, and then another 8 mortarmen or something like that, you want to be mortarmen city at your level. They cause far more damage than anything else. So that's obviously something I would be looking at. Machine guns, snipers, yeah, a bit of anti-air support, I do get it. But it depends what flaks you've got and things like that as well. Maybe keep your machine. If you want anti-air, the anti-air probably needs to be in your first slot. So maybe you want 1 to 2 snipers coming out in your first slot, and then mortarmen thereafter. But to be fair, I just always use mortarmen at your level, and I had the first set coming out after, I think, 5 or 6 seconds, and then the next after 8 seconds, and so on and so forth. But again, look, if you start doing your PvP, if you start using your world map properly and start coining, 700k, the Thor's your difficulty, I do get that, but 700k is dead easy. Yes, add that to all the other 700ks, and yes, I see your problem, but, well worth doing. Same with Bravo. Bravo could be upgraded as well. That gives you 2 levels of attack, doesn't it? So that's probably where I would start to tweak things around a little bit. So a little bit of upgrading to do, but you know what, just keep at it. Don't upgrade your base yet. Don't upgrade your base, because you need your attack. There's no point being, say, a level 50 player like myself. I'm a 50 plus, but a 50 player, if I can't take down a 52 player, if I'm a 50 player and only can take down a 48 player, I'm stronger in my base than I am in defence, and you should always be better at your attack than your defence, and that's what we're going to start working on next. So I'm going to pause this one here, bro, because it's a lot of information to take in, but this will be yours. Go through it again and again and again. Pick up what I'm guiding you on. Ask questions. I'll be here to help you, and we'll go from there, bro. But yes, some good stuff. I'm seeing some good stuff. It's now next time to just turn this corner and start getting even stronger.